So it's finally time. The grass has grown enough so we can mow it for the second time this year and make hay. But we are really late this year, and that's because the summer has been really cold and it's been raining a lot. But now we have been promised 1 week with good weather, so we need to get to it. So the mower is nearly done, but I did forget something really important, and that is what happened to the clutch handle the last time I drove it. Because I ended up tipping the tractor, as some of you may have seen on our previously videos, and I broke the handle off. And my plan was of course to buy a new one, but I was going to check what kind of handle it was, and I forgot, and now we are here and need to use this mower. So that's a problem, but there is another handle on the other side that is for the brakes, and that has never been used as long as I have had this mower. And that's because there is no wire for the brakes, and from what I heard they haven't been working for a long time. So that handle, I can possibly use that. But it's a bit awkward because it's on the wrong side. It's the same side as the gas. But anyway, I don't think I want to try to break this off or move it, because these handles are nearly 50-60 years old, so it's a good chance that I will break it if I try. So I'll just have to try to move the wire over to the other handle and see if that works. So we have finally gathered the grass behind me, and the next thing we're going to do is something that's called in Norwegian Hesjing. And that is to actually put the grass up on strings to dry it out, because it's too late in the year now to dry it on the ground. It will just rot, it's too wet. But before we do that, I'm a bit concerned about the poles in this, as in Norwegian called a hesje. And that's because they have actually been out now for about 3 years, and that's not normal. The normal practice is to put them up after you have cut the grass and to take it back down again when you're finished to use it and store it for next year. But for us, we haven't really had the time. For those of you that don't know, it's neither the farm or YouTube that pays our bills, it's normal 9-to-5 jobs. So the time we have for this farm is the time that's left after our jobs, after making dinner, after delivering and picking up in kindergarten and in school, after helping with homework. And for those of you that have seen the video with our story, and that's by the way in the Norwegian channel, you also know about our daughter's special genetic condition. And so we don't really have that much time for the farm, and that means that all jobs that we don't really have to do don't get done. So, and also for those of you that are wondering if we actually are making some money off the YouTube channel, we are, but the Norwegian one at this time and date. But anyway, we need to continue because the sun is going down now, it's soon going to be dark, and I need to get this grass off the ground before that, because it's going to get really foggy tonight and wet, and the grass won't dry, it will just start to rot. So what we're going to do now is to cut away the remaining grass around the hesjes, and then we're going to see the condition they are in, if we are going to take a chance and use it for 1 more year. So it's not exactly historical correct, but I'm taking the chance that it's going to hold, so we just have to carry on because it's going to get dark soon. So it got a bit late before we managed to finish, but my plan was also to do another clip the next day to show how it looked, but we are not at the next day. We are actually 1.5 weeks later. That's because I didn't have the time. But this is the last day with the nice weather. Tomorrow is gonna rain a lot, and the next days. So we have to take it in now. And not everything is dry yet. Where it's the thinnest, it's dry, but the lower parts where it's really stacked under, it's not dry, the inner parts. But anyway, we can't really wait any longer, so what I will do is, after I've taken it in, I will separate what is dry and put that where it's going to be. And what's left, I will try to lay out on the floor and see if we can dry it a bit more. And to drive in the hay, I'm going to just use a wheelbarrow. And that might seem a bit strange when we have 3 tractors. And the reason for that is the 2 large ones I can't drive around the house where I'm going to offload the hay. They are just too large, and also I don't really have any trailers for them, so it would anyway just be the rear bucket, and that don't really take that much more than a wheelbarrow. And the 2-wheel tractor, it's really handy, and it's also small enough to drive around the house, but it wasn't very comfortable to use that as a mower now, when we had to move the clutch handle on the wrong side and the same place as the gas. And also I haven't really fixed the issue with the steering wheel up in the face, for those of you that have seen those videos. And you may also remember what happened when I tried to when I managed to drive into a rock and tip the tractor. So I don't really want to try that again. And anyway, it's not really that much of a problem using the wheelbarrow, because hay is really, really light, and you can stack a lot on a wheelbarrow. So probably I will manage to get this in just 4 runs. So it's not really worth the effort when using those other tractors. So anyway, it's late. I just need to get finished. So let's get to it. So the hay is inside, but it did not go as planned this year. This is the wettest hay I've ever taken in. And the reason for that is that we are really late. We are already in September, and this late a year, the hay don't really dry as well anymore. Even though we have had 1.5 weeks with nice sunny weather, in night it starts to fog. It actually becomes so wet that it almost looks like it has been raining the whole night. And in those conditions, it's really difficult to dry hay. And so I just had to take it in. It was no option to leave it outside, because today, the day after, it's pouring down and it would just have been a lot more wet. And to continue to hope for it to dry outside now would just be a waste of time. So I've tried some tricks to save it. I've not put this hay with the same hay that we dried earlier this year in the summer, because we would probably end up just ruining that hay as well. But I have fluffed it as much as I can, and also I tried a trick which I have not used before. I've added salt to it. And the salt will help to dry out the moisture from the hay, and hopefully that will be enough to save it. But we will see. And also what we need to do now the next days is to go out and to lift it and fluff it in order to prevent it to sag down. Because if you don't get air into it, then it will start to rot. So I'm hoping we can save it. If not, it would be a lot of work wasted. But there's nothing more than that we can do, so we'll just have to wait and see. So anyways, I thank you a lot for watching the videos. If you want to be a subscriber, just click the red button. It does not cost you anything. And also, if you want to be sure to know when we make new videos, also hit the bell icon. Then you will get a notification every time we release a video. So I hope that I will be seeing you guys again on the next video. Bye.